Game number 4 on the horizon here. Blue Bayou Zoo versus Art of War Esports. Rare Adam and Yanni bringing you the call once again. Blue Bayou Zoo back in their home habitat of the blue side.
Yeah, and judging by how the season has gone so far, their home habitat of match point here. 2-1 lead over Art of War Esports. We'll to see when it gets selected here. The Sivir is off the board here. So Champion Red will have to play something else. We did have questions in the last game, Adam, whether or not that Sivir would be available.
It's not. That's important as well, because Red has to show something else. Granted, with the way that Red has played, I feel as if they can still find value in other champions. Something to keep in mind, Red has played mid, has played support, has played every role. Red is the Drew Dozer of this league, an 150 trick. We'll just play whatever they still desire. And Drew Dozer has died twice. Good thing the tempo ult was there. This is so, there's so much context missing from that one.
People are like, what the hell are they talking about right now? Lock-in of Maokai here for Blue Bayou Zoo, so that's going to be taken away from Crimson. Crimson's probably thanking his lucky stars. We're going to see Rel Sejuani get early rotation here, so, you know, it's pretty obvious where this Rel may be going, unless we're going to see a Sejuani top, which does not seem like Trolls You is really a Sejuani top enjoyer. But now we're going to see a Jarvan lock-in, which means that this Maokai could be heading top for Jaffe, or it could be heading to the bot side for Jacob Duder.
Honestly, it would be so woke if they played Jarvan. Oh, the Twitch is back. Jarvan top lane for Jaffe.
That would be broke. No.
I would love to see. You know what? For context on that one, I can give context behind why I want to see Jarvan top. I got the cast Nidhogg yesterday. Nidhogg invented Jarvan top, it feels like, or all these different builds that come through. You know, E max with Aerie, W max or whatever. Jaffe could be woke and do that. I think it's likely just going to be Dax pulling it out and Jacob Dudar with the Maokai. But Ezreal is the option into the Twitch this time around. Ezreal bot lane for Art of War Esports. This feels very safe. It feels very sterile once again. But if Music Boy can get off the ground on this Ezreal, it can be so difficult to lock him down.
Can you stop referring to bot lanes as sterile, please?
It can be. It's very safe.
Stop. No, please don't use that word to describe it. Listen, as your friend and as someone who has aspirations to be a professional broadcaster, please don't use that word.
I'm saying it's very
yeah, and now I'm uncomfy. Well, so we've already seen the lock-ins here. I think Blue Bayou Zoo, they're going a little stoopy with their picks here. You know, you see, typically when I see the Twitch come out, it's because one team is very, very cocky and think they're going to roll over the last game, and then we end up going to a game 5. But perhaps Champion Red will prove me wrong here. Or perhaps this Twitch could even be in the jungle. We actually don't know. Like, it could be that crazy, but Ezreal Sejuani Rel just seems super chill, you know. But again, it's more scaling for Art of War, which wasn't that great in the first part, or in the last game, I should say. But Akali going to be the lock-in, should have an easy time assassinating that Twitch.
Yeah, if anything, the first half of Art of War Esports draft is tired, and that Akali getting picked up is wired. It's very aggressive. It's Amit throwing down the gauntlet, or Trolls You throwing down the gauntlet, saying, listen, I want to play aggressive this game. I want to get in there. I want to do some damage. I want to get busy with it. But, oh man, Yanni, we were talking about this before the series. We were talking about this.
You were talking about this. So I give you the credit and the floor here. This Lilia pick, tell me about it, Adam.
That is Lilia mid. Fire Mana has been begging to play Lilia mid for a long time. You know, very confident on that champion. This is Lilia mid. And if this is going into Akali, Lilia does quite well into Akali. It sounds like a strange matchup to have knowledge of, but all Lilia does is she lands any sort of damage at level 6. Akali tries to go in. She takes a quick nap. What happens? Akali's just stuck there. You'll run away. Either Akali follows up and she's getting chased down, or she's way too overextended, or she has to use that second half of the perfect execution to get out. There's like 4 junglers on the side of Blue Bayou Zoo. I have no idea how they decided on this draft, but it looks really fun.
Yeah, and you know, I've never seen an Akali fall asleep with full energy, but maybe we will see that today. And one thing that I mentioned about Blue Bayou Zoo, Blue Bayou Zoo has 4 junglers. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest here. Like,
Yeah.
This is very, very funny to see. But I do like what's coming out here. The set is a very interesting pick here because I don't know how tanky these members are going to be. So you're not going to get as much value out of that ultimate, but I mean, you know, second deal a bunch of damage, and it looks like that'll be headed up toward the top side, which it will. So we have the champions locked in. The players are on the rift for what could be the final game of this 5-game set between Blue Bayou Zoo and Art of War Esports. Adam, we see it ignite on this Lilia.
Something to keep in mind: the ignite on the Lilia is cool. I was going to talk about that at some point, but
I got you.
What I want to point out here, Ariri once again about to get eliminated from potentially capturing a championship at the hands of Red, and as well slightly in part to Jaffe. Last time around, in the grand finals of last season, Jaffe pulled out the Gangplank, one of those pocket picks that he has, had an absolutely massive performance. The draft that came through from Team A was a little bit wonky at that as well. Matt played Malzahar. I was on my Rakan as well. We had a very strange draft in that game as well. And that was what eliminated Art of War Esports. This time around, can we say BBZ's draft is conventional? I would be lying. It's not conventional. It's off the wall. Can Art of War Esports overcome the off the wall allegations that they cannot beat off meta?
It's just super weird, and the thing is, they haven't been able to beat meta either. Like, that's the real big problem. Is that they haven't had an answer, a consistent answer for BBZ all series long. I mean, you know, you even saw that last game, the game that they won, Art of War 1, was like, we talked about that it was more of BBZ not executing, and you know, this could be just the one game that they gave away. Ariri is really going to have to step up. The one thing we haven't seen Ariri do is get really good roams off, and they need to do that this game. Ensure that a mid gets ahead.
A mid needs to get ahead. And that is the major factor of Akali in any sort of team comp, specifically this one as well, where there's Jarvan and Maokai who are not going to be the easiest to execute. You need to get ahead so that you can execute them, or that you can ignore them. You can survive their crowd control, all of that shebang there as well. I think the major factor could end up being Crims on this Sejuani to sort of shut down the engages from the tanks and just say, you know what, I am playing defender for my Akali. I want her to get busy with it, and a mid needs to be able to do so, but already gank.
Yeah, but the Flag and Drag not going to land. And now Sejuani in the area. Fireman could get turned on here. They do have summoners available. They are going to have to flash away. A mid does get ignited there. Goes very low, but will be able to survive, take it back, and then teleport into the mid lane here. So looking to get the shove in, trying to make sure that a mid can miss something.
Yeah, I think that's the major factor. You are going to force out at least the teleport topside. Oh, man.
I think he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to flash away. Trolling you. Keeping their flash as well. So far, the laners for Art of War Esports looking real good.
Yeah, Trolling on the set is very fitting as well, considering that comp. You know, might be more fighting, though.
Wait, Dax is here.
Oh.
Trying to avoid things. And it's going to be first blood, as Dax just did not get in there to help out. But now, can he turn it around? Flash from Trolling you means that Dax is in a lot of trouble. They did proc that Conqueror. They are very low. Will survive for now. But so many low health targets. You know he wants a piece of it. He's going to Lance, but the level up means that Dax is in a whole lot of trouble. He's running scared, has the shield up, but Crims is in hot pursuit here. I think they want to try to kill him, but hey, you mentioned it. Jaffe's back. Oh
my goodness. A mess on this top side. Everyone's surviving with 200 HP or less. Jaffe just going to get a little bit of additional attack speed. It's so cheeky coming through with that little repose to stop the reset as well. What this does is it forces Trolling to TP right away, and fear of missing out on some of that XP. But nonetheless, it's a mess on the top side of the map as well, with Fire Mana burning both summoners, a mid force the TP back, Trolling getting both of Jaffe's summoners out, as well as the first blood. Art of War are playing this lane out of this small sample size extremely well, and I think Crims on this Sejuani, despite just not really clearing that much, already has more impact.
And one thing that we didn't get to mention is that you saw it for a brief second. Champion Red lost a whole hell of a wave, but Amid in the middle of things looking to take out Dax, and he does, but now he's on the wrong side of the tracks. He does a lot of damage to Fire Mana, but Fire Mana misses the bowling ball. One more auto attack should be able to take him down, but Amid flashes away. Is going to land the Shuriken. Is he going to go back in? He's going in for the kill, and he does get 2 in the 2v1.
A mid? More like the mid. That was incredible stuff coming through, surviving the 1v2. Dax showing up with half HP was already a little bit sketchy there, but the fact that a mid survives Fire Mana at the end of that as well, burning the flash perfectly, great shuriken flip, great use of the passive as well to space it out perfectly against Lilia, who kind of thrives in that situation. Something else to mention about that matchup, Akali's circle, where she has to step out of before she walks back in, is kind of perfect for Fire Mana because it's automatic spacing. The Akali always has to step back before she goes back in. This situation ends up sort of falling prey to that as well.
Yeah, and now, we didn't really talk about how AWE's early games have been actually relatively strong, aside from the last game where they looked pretty bad, but I mean, their game 1, remember, they completely dominated. So no matter what happens, BBZ is well and truly not out of the game at any point in time. They were down so much, were able to come all the way back to take game 1 here. But AWE, it's looking very similar to what they did in game 1. They're just hoping that they're able to hang on this time around and force game 5.
Exactly. And I think a lot of that will ride on a mid. If a mid is able to make these roams work well, specifically if they can find an early roam now towards the bot side of the map, it could be absolutely devastating. Twitch is a champion that needs to get to 2 items before they're able to find any value. It was something that we saw in their quarterfinal against Fat Pikachu. Red felt confident enough on the Twitch to pick it up, didn't do anything for like 30 minutes, and then became the open DPS rat IRL that we are used to seeing out of this champion. Is this going to be a similar situation? Will they get to 30 minutes? That is sort of the question when you pick Twitch, because if you can get there, you will be a menace. You will turn into an absolute turbo smurf. You'll be space gliding everywhere, finding all the damage. If you don't, you're just a rat.
You are just a rat, no Tui there. And Amid is playing the one champion that can really snowball this game out of control and ensure that this match does not go that long, because you already see the damage that they're dealing to Fire Mana. Fire Mana has to use the Lilting Lullaby just to survive and has done almost no damage in return.
That's the major flip side of this Akali versus Lilia matchup. Lilia is going to be squishy as well. You cannot survive the early game if the Akali gets fed. The Akali got fed.
Yeah. And now you're down almost 20 CS here.
And 2
Akali
kills.
Yeah, and now Dax has to cover. Dax, had a very active early game where they ended up dying. I'm not able to get on a kill or anything like that. And now they're stuck holding waves mid, just absorbing that EXP. This means that this Jarvan that you picked to be so proactive, that was so proactive early, is unable to, convert any of this proactivity here. Although they are level up on Crims. Crims has just been chilling out, farming up, and once they hit level 6, it's going to be disaster for them too. Dax going to head to the mid lane here, engage on a mid to avoid the inevitable 3-man gank on him in the river. We'll survive for now.
Yeah, and you know what? We've been doing a lot of callbacks in terms of our casting. Let's do a throwback as well, and this is something that you love to do as well. Over, under on a mid kills this game.
Over, under on a mid kills. Oh, man. So AWE hasn't been playing that great is the problem. Let me set the line. Let me set the line at 9.5.
9.5 for a mid. Now, do I want to take the over on that? You know what? I'm gonna take.
So real quick, while you're deliberating, I'll give you a little bit more time for those who may not know, who may not be betting people. I do work for a sportsbook, and an over/under bet is you are given a line, which is the number, and you have to determine whether or not this player is going to have more kills or less kills. So I'm setting the line at 9.5. So if you go under, 9 kills or less for a mid. If you pick over, you want 10 kills or more.
I think a mid's got the dog in him. I'm gonna hit the over on this one.
You're gonna hit the over. See,
bold
I think
choice.
I think it's gonna be under. I think he's gonna have like 8 or 9, but he might have 8 or 9 in a winning effort. The real hard part here is we saw what happened with with Art of War in game one, where they had that huge lead and were unable to win the game. So a lot of that does get factored into the line here, because if you can't hang on to a lead, is a mid really going to be able to get double-digit kills? It is a little bit of a mixed bag. Do I think this is my best line? No, but they're certainly looking for number 3 right here. Fire Mana down to about half HP, going Drowsy as a Kali, but finding a way out before they can get trapped up by Dax. So flash for the mid laners.
Yeah, I might be already trying to hedge my bet on this one as a little bit overzealous, I want to say. I think Amid was a little bit too far at the initial onset of that fight. Got hit with one of those spells from Lilia, forced to go to take a nap as well, and Dax was in the perfect place at the perfect time to prevent that from coming down. As you were mentioning, though, Dax hasn't been able to play proactively this game. I don't even want to say that Dax has been playing actively. Normally you'd say it's reactive. It's anti-active thus far. Just sort of trying to park the bus, as you would in this one. But Amid picks up a turret plate for their troubles as well. This Akali's getting a lot of gold, and just standing gold as well. Just everywhere on the map is able to convert this into some sort of lead. And thus far, Fire Mana playing this Lilia mid hasn't quite been what we expect. Granted, Lilia gets a lot of her power once she gets her Leandries, when she's able to get to a Cosmic Drive as that second item, potentially. That is where Lilia starts to shine.
Well, I don't know what you were expecting out of this Lilia mid, but like I told you earlier, when teams just go stoopy because they're on match point, you'll see things like this, where they're down 1,500 gold almost. This early on in the game, as Jacob Duder is going to drop the ultimate down, Crims is going to get rooted up, and now everybody is on top of Crims. But do they have the damage to get him? Dax is going to get 2 members there. Oriri down to about half HP, but is going to be able to get away. And yes, you mentioned a mid is here. Fire Mana is around, has that Ignite available, but you can see the damage that Amid is dealing right now. Music Boy is going to be able to get the kill on Dax. Teleport from behind as Amid is weaving in and out. Champion Red has used their ultimate. Jacob Duder down to low HP, but it's going to be Amid picking up kill number 3. Now Jaffe on the other side is going to get the kill, that grand challenge as well. Amid down to about half HP, but Champion Red wants to get a bunch of auto attacks on him, but Champion Red gets caught out and is blown up, trolling you, able to get the kill. Now Jaffe under turret with about half HP, but the swag E into Q, but Music Boy will die for his hubris.
Oh my goodness, Music Boy snipes it out to complete what ends up being effectively an ace there. Unfortunately for the line, Amid only gets 1, but hey, it's still a pretty hefty looking Dark Seal now on the Akali. And Art of War Esports, they executed that bot lane play about as well as you could expect. The TP behind really threw a wrench into the plan. They get everything that they were looking for, but now Dax looking for steal. Oh man.
Dax? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Dax is insane. Dax is insane, but he did use the Q to help deal some damage, so he will fall for it. But the dragon will be secured by BBZ, which, you know what, you are pretty happy with because of how the game has gone. Game 1, they were down 3 Drakes to none. They had to execute on the last Drake fight, and they did. But this time around, it's going to get broken up. Will allow BBZ to have more time to get into the game. So Rift Herald getting dropped here in the mid lane. Definitely going to get at least a plate. Not going to be able to edge out that second half as everybody showed up there to prevent any extra gold going into the pockets of AWA.
Yeah, I think the only thing that, with 45 seconds left, it might not matter too much. You could have potentially let that other plate fall, because I'm not sure if anyone would have actually gotten the gold for it, and if anything, it would have been Crims, but fight on the bottom side.
Champion Red is the target. Ultimate's going to whiff there from Music Boy, but Champion Red gets stunned for quite some time. But the damage he's putting out, it's not quite enough. He did not get to use his E, so Music Boy is going to be able to live with just a sliver of HP. But Jacob Duder, he really wants to try to kill him. Oriri sticking on top of him, looking to stun him up and make it real easy for Music Boy, who is just going to shift Q once again. 4-1-2 on this Ezreal. Adam, I think we picked the wrong player to pick over-under for.
Yeah, because Music Boy comes alive off the back of that bot lane fight, picks up Trinity Force, and then immediately gets back to work with Oriri. You can see how confident Oriri can be on a champion that, they're arguably a one-trick on at this point. But it's so refreshing to see the Rel come through. And of note, Game 1, Rel goes to Crims. It's not a win. Game 2, Art of War pick Rel for Oriri. It's a win. Game 3, no Rel, no win. Game 4, looking real good for the side of Art of War Esports. Oriri's on Rel.
We need the copy pasta. No Rel, no win. No Rel, no win. And right now, Art of War Esports is in the driver's seat confidently. And it feels different than game 1. Like with the champions that they have, Adam, it just feels different. I think we might be going to game 5. It's still really early, you know. We're not even at the 15-minute mark yet, just about to crest that. And it's only 2,500 gold for Art of War, but they have looked much better, and it feels like they've tightened up their game.
Yeah, and a major factor behind that is also Trollsing winning on the side lane. Sleepy time, though, for mid.
Yeah, and now he's going to get rooted up by multiple
Ooh,
CC abilities.
Oriri.
Oriri is going to be the one to die there. Champion Red is going to get that kill, very crucially, and a mid will survive for now. So the shutdown still intact here for AWE.
Yeah, at the very least, the death goes on to Oriri, which is sort of the best person to die in that situation. Of course, you would rather not have anyone fall, but Jacob Dudar, this is not good here.
Yeah, he's going to get targeted out. Now Music Boy ready to deal some damage. Deals an okay amount for having Trinity Force. I expected him to do more, but amid very aggressive pathing. As Dax is going to try to flag and drag on him, and Amid is going to go in, but Amid is low. Amid will not be able to secure the kill. It goes over to Music Boy, but will die. The shutdown going over to the Lilia. That could be bad news for AWE.
Oh man, the bet's looking worse and worse as we go on. It is a 1-for-1 though, as Dax goes down for their troubles, but it's like a 200 gold kill for a 600 gold kill at that. Not worth for the side of Art of War Esports. And now, despite the lead that they have, it doesn't feel as secure as it did a minute ago.
A couple seconds, yeah, like you said. I mean, you know, once Firemana gets online, like this is going to be problematic for them. They have some tankier members that are going to burn really, really badly here. Second Rift Herald going to go the side of AWE, it appears at the very least, although Jacob Duder is just going to scout it out, but no contest needed there. So on the bottom side, Champion Red doing what they can to shove the wave in, but won't be able to take the turret. So right now, there's nothing for BBZ to get on the map.
Yeah, BBZ, they push in that bot lane tower. It was full health, so there's not a whole lot. Oh my goodness, Amid's going in.
Champion Red could be in a lot of trouble. He's going to flash away. So not going to see too much of that fight. It's just going to be a flash for flash. So I don't think that benefits a mid there, to be honest with you. Down the flash, only 5 stacks on that Dark Seal. Very killable right now.
Yeah, and I think, if anything, it just sort of scares Red a little bit. I don't know if scare tactics really work in that same way, but Amid's going to get a little bit of free time here to push in. I don't think they're going to get too much damage on that tower either. I think it's more so just the bloodlust that might be taking Amid over a little bit here. Had a great start to the game, dies once, and it's like, okay, I got to get my lead back up once again, and might have been a little bit overzealous on that investment. Nonetheless, you can see this push through the mid lane now. Everyone's just sort of shoving this in. There might be setting up for some sort of play here, or BBZ. Here's Dax.
Dax is going to catch Crims, but Crims is just going to Arctic Assault right out. Multiple members getting rooted up and multiple TPs coming in. Trollsing you is going to take Jacob Duder into the rest of the squad. A 1-for-0 for right now. A mid teleport down as well. So no summoners on this Akali, but the dragon in the sights for AWE.
Yeah, and Amid is around the flank here. I'm not sure if they got spotted out on anything. Okay, they got spotted out by the bowling ball. It's a little bit of a strange situation because now Rift Herald gets dropped bot side. They're just sort of zoning them so far away from this dragon, and I don't know if this is 100% necessary.
Mid gets the fire mana, but he's gone asleep. Champion Red trying to get away, but he has been spotted out. The slows are out. Amid is going to have to turn away. First turret going down because the Rift Herald got dropped on the bot side. Meanwhile, Crim's just working on that dragon. Alone right now. Top side, Jaffe is going to get the push in on that turret. I mean, this is a very slow dragon, but it looks like a very safe dragon here. Turret going down, BBZ getting credit for that one, and the rest of the squad of AWE will come to help out.
Yeah, there's just no one around here to sort of help Crims take it faster, but neither is there anyone from the side of BBZ. As Infernal Soul on an Akali is very scary, and this top lane matchup for Jaffe has had a decent amount of alone time, so at the very least was able to take the tower. Trollsing is sort of dominating that matchup right now, and I believe Rifty should be able to get that last charge down. Decent chunk out of the tier 2. Art of War, it still feels as if they have a decent amount of control, despite their lead not feeling as good as it was around this 14-minute mark. They still have a very big lead, and I think a lot of that just comes down to these towers that they picked up, a lot of the standing gold, and the fact that Music Boy hasn't really made any mistakes yet either. And that's been a big factor, is that Music Boy, flying under the radar for the first 3 games, finally getting a chance to sort of spread the wings a little bit more.
And you can see Jaffe up on the top side here, just Dealing as much damage to Trolling You as possible. Trolling You has that Gore Drinker, is 4-0, but does have a shutdown that Jaffe and friends want to claim here. The healing is just coming out so much here.
Goodness.
Jaffe just realized that all this damage I did is pretty much gone. I see teams jockeying around for position on the top side of the map. Blue buff getting done here by Dax. Multiple members spotted out here. It will give, Dax will smite that, give the blue buff over to Champion Red, who really does need it. It's mid turret, very, very low, so the gold lead could expand for AWE, but Champion Red, we're seeing a shift out of Music Boy. May have a small opportunity here, is opening up on them, dealing a lot of damage to Oriri, taking him down to about half HP. They really want to get this mid turret.
Yeah, and it seems like a little bit of an overinvestment there. 2 ultimates expended for a fight that seemed way too far. Mid going in.
Oh, mid was on the turret. Fire. Oh, he's going to go in on Fireman and ripped him to pieces. He just took Bambi out there and shot him.
Yeah, unfortunately for the deer, they won't survive. They're turned into venison. Oh.
Ooh, deer from the bot lane to the top lane, but the shutdown goes to Jaffe. Give him 700 gold in the pocket.
Yeah, Trolling You does a little bit of trolling on the top side of the map. You still find a kill, but it's onto Dax. Dax is not worth anything. Hate to break it to you. Dax is not worth as much as you are expecting him to be. 0-5. The kill is so much more worth on the side of Jaffe there. And while it might have been a necessary play from Trolling to try and fight that one out, you give over a big shutdown and you're just sort of giving free resources over to the side of BBZ, which may end up biting you in the rear come later on in this game. The mid-game spike that we expect from BBZ hasn't quite come to fruition yet by virtue of the fact that there's not a whole lot of items complete on their side, specifically on Dax, but now 2 items on the Twitch. That is a major breakpoint there. All of a sudden, that spray and pray that was doing, 100 damage, now it'll hit 2 other targets, so you do 200 damage. You're doubling your damage.
Yeah, you're going to be doing quite a bit, but the gold lead hasn't changed all that much. It's 1,000 more gold, tilting slightly in the favor of Art of War, but they're not completely out of the woods yet, and it's so crazy to say that. Their top laner is 5-1, their mid laner is 4-1, and their AD carry is 5-1. This should just be all Art of War here, but you can never count out BBZ. See if they're able to turn this game in their favor, much like they did in Game 1. You already see a Hex Drinker getting built up here by Dax for the lone magic damage threat, known as a mid. Does not want to get blown up instantly.
I mean, it's been sort of a stalemate for a little bit between these two teams. Yes, there have been kills going back and forth, but no real progress has been achieved by Art of War Esports. They've just been sort of in a holding pattern, flying around. They've inadvertently parked the bus here, and finally BBZ going to try and break through that. They've got 4 members up mid, though, and even still, it's not really amounting to much.
Yeah, they have no sieging power, and the only way they can access a way to siege is by engaging. But they don't win engagements either. There's just such great disengage from AWE. So if you went to go say Maokai ult here, they all get to get away, and you might not even get the turret. Speaking of turrets, a mid getting a turret in the top lane. Solo gold for his troubles, expanding the lead to 4,000 gold. And take a look, Ezreal is now on his 2-item spike.
Yeah, Music Boy's doing a lot of damage. These Qs are chunking out Jacob Dudar despite the tank stats that have been picked up. And Fireman, you don't want to be taking those either. No one really wants to be taking these Mystic shots over and over again. So you're forced into sort of the poke comp that we wanted to see out of last game. And this time we're getting the poke comp with only 1 poke champion. Because it's Ezreal. Surprise. He pokes a lot.
Sir pokes a lot?
Sir pokes a lot. It's like Sir Butt Kick, but Sir pokes a lot.
Ah, yes, Sir Butt Kick, a fan. We are a big fan of Sir Butt Kick. We like him. Okay, yes. It was the vision toggle. I'm like, where did Maokai go? He just disappeared, but Maokai Ultimate going to be expended here. This potential soul point here for AWE as the dragon has been started up. We're going to see a teleport on the backside for a mid. They have no idea that a mid is coming from behind. A huge engagement is going to get everybody CC'd up, and a mid is going to find 1. Let's count them up, see how many he gets. A mid's got 2. A mid does not get the 3rd. He won't get the 4th, but he will certainly make his mark in that fight as AWE wipes BBZ off the map and puts themselves on soul point.
Yeah, made his mark and called the Assassin's market that no questions asked about Amid's ability to get into that backline and deal as much damage. Red was caught so unaware. Just started opening up from the bush, said, hee, I've got myself a nice little rat angle. Maybe fired off 2 shots of the spray and pray and immediately got eviscerated. So great stuff coming through from Amid to recognize the important targets. Target selection is so big on these Assassins, especially when you've got the option of a Lilia, a Twitch, a very underfed Jarvan. You have so many possibilities. Why not just go for the one that's dealing the most damage at the time?
And if you are Oriri, you have to be feeling pretty good, because this is the first game where Art of War Esports wire to wire has been in control. You've hit the 25-minute mark. BBZ has not found a way in. They don't even look like they did in game 2, where we thought they didn't look so great. They look worse, and this wacky composition that they pulled out has fallen flat on its face, Adam.
Yeah, game 4-itis is a real thing for some teams. You get your lead. You can't be messing around in those situations either. Just have to convert, end it off, keep everything intact. But now, Baron started up, Art of War Esports. They've been very methodical about this game. This feels like a very methodical Baron, but Dax is in the area as well. Caution on the Jarvan. He's stolen a dragon already this game. Can he steal the Baron?
Local Dax in your area, ready to go. They root up the Ezreal.
Oh, no.
Can they blow him up? And they do. It's a shutdown for Champion Red, who's now opening up a can of whoop-ass on the team of AWE. But Trollsing responds in kind. Jaffe coming from the side. He picks up one. Trollsing the next target. Trollsing is going to go down. It's BBZ through everything. It's still them.
No, Amid. We talked about his target selection, and that time around, he can't get on the Twitch. The Twitch opens DPS, Space Glide all over them. But on the flip side of things, Trollsing almost turns it around with a huge haymaker. It's not enough. It doesn't matter. BBZ find their way back into this game. Art of War Esports, their lead's gone.
I am caster cursed. Art of War Esports, man. They were wire to wire in control of the game at the 25-minute mark, and no more than a minute and 40 seconds later, we're talking about a BBZ gold lead. Music Boy getting caught out there was the catalyst that started the fight, and the straw that broke the camel's back. Champion Red with the gat.
Just dishing out the damage there, and it all goes back to a play that felt a little overzealous around the dragon. It was that Maokai ultimate that was invested. Music Boy opted to burn the flash instead of the cleanse, was scared that they were going to get caught out afterwards, burned the flash instead. That situation, you cannot cleanse out of it. You have to flash out of it. Didn't have it available. Burned the cleanse as well. So Music Boy just sort of a DNF. They're real close together. Might have just had a little bit of a fumble finger there, and you pay the price. You pay the price with your entire gold lead, your life's savings down the drain. Granted, the game is still even.
The game is still even, but will Music Boy have the mental to continue to play a pretty good game? That was really the only glaring mistake that they have made this game, and that is such a killer. Perhaps no ice in their veins here. Some players just do not have it. So who is going to be the one on AWE to right the ship? Could it be Trollsing, who we saw in that fight do big things? They're on 3 items right now, but now they have to deal with the Hullbreaker Fiora, which is going to be a big problem. We've got 2 items for Fire Mana still, just kind of chilling out on 2, nothing more. So we're going to see a real quick 1v1 here. There's a lot of damage being dumped out on both sides here, but Jaffe able to heal it up. Trollsing was the one to heal it up earlier, and look at that true damage. He's chunking him out. The grand challenge has gone down. Trollsing could find themselves in a lot of trouble, but look at the damage that he does to Jaffe. Jaffe got caught by the true damage and has to run for his life.
Oh, Trollsing, you.
Amid is rooted. Champion Red is down. Champion Red is down. Amid, the target selection is not mid. It is in fact primo. It's double kill for Music Boy and AWE right back in it. They ping the Baron.
That line's looking better and better every single fight that comes through. AWE, honestly, maybe just inspired by the fact that Trollsing was able to dish out, 1,500 true damage to Jaffe at the end of that fight. They end up finding a huge play off the back of a mid. Mid will take a quick nap, but no punishment from Fire Mana.
And now if you're BBZ, you thought you were right back in the game, and now you're going to be right back to square one. Sure, you're still going to have a lot more gold than you had before, but this Baron going down is going to be bad news. And you know a mid doesn't care how little HP they have. They want to go kill Fire Mana, who's chasing them down, who ignites them up. And no, the bowling ball's not going to be enough. The team coming to help him out, but he mistimed the Q. Fire Mana mistimes the Q, and a mid is going to be able to get out.
Oh my goodness. A mid gets away with highway robbery, takes a quick little nap in the middle of it, and still able to get away. But now, more fighting. They're going right back at it.
And now a mid is going to be here for this fight. Joffrey's going to get over the wall. He's been stunned up. But that Akali, who you really needed to kill, is alive for this dragon fight. But they've been rooted up, and they've been shut down. That one goes over to Jacob Duder. But the dragon, still very healthy. 1,000 HP on this. And a great shift from Music Boy. As Daxon Champion Red are in hot pursuit. He's burning away. Is the poison enough? It courses through his veins. He's trying to heal, but he gets lanced from above by the Jarvan Standard. A big shutdown. And the dragon should go to BBZ.
Oh man, it just feels too much of an investment coming through from Art of War. They had the Baron already. They didn't need a force there. The perfect execution was anything but from a mid, unfortunately. That last shot goes way wide of Fire Mana. You juke left, you fire right. Something is bound to be wrong there. Oh man, it's every time AWE do something right, they always end up evening it out. Don't think it's Sun Tzu who said it. Was probably Confucius who said something about, for every right there's a wrong. I feel like there's something. There's probably
some of this play is leaving me confused right now, because a mid has just been very inconsistent. If you look at the scoreline, you're like, wow, this guy's played a fantastic game, but he's had high highs and really low lows, and that was one of them. AWE once again unable to secure a soul in a very close game where it could be the difference maker. A 500 gold difference in BBZ, a renewed sense of life after turning things around, losing it once again, turning it back around.
Yeah, now it just comes down to whether Art of War can swing it back in their favor once again, because basically even keel. At this point in the game, 31 minutes in, with gold being 1,000 gold apart, it doesn't matter.
Oh, hold on. Take a look at that mid gap real quick. Hold on. Wait, go back. I want to go take a look at that mid gap. Holy, jeez, man. That is a lot of gold.
And that's the thing about a mid. A mid has been inconsistent, but is still rich as anything at this point.
Consistently stacking his pockets. I mean, major bag alert, right?
Exactly. Has the bag and is just throwing it around. I mean, this Lily has not worked out. I think no matter how this game turns out at the end of it,
put it back on the shelf.
This Lilia, they've joked about the NA 9-man sleep. It's been a 1-man sleep, and it's been I'm sleeping on Fireman as Lily at this point. You know what? Whatever happened in scrims, do not invest in the scrim bucks. No. At the same time, that game I was 6-0-2 on Ashe, so maybe I was the reason why that popped off. So. Just saying.
You have set up BBZ for failure here. So despite Adam's best efforts, BBZ looking to win with the Lilia mid here. And if they do lose, they do get to put all the blame on Adam here, because they're going to engage on the Fireman, and Crims is going to get rooted up. Multiple members getting rooted up. Crims burning, but damage. Going to catch up the Maokai for right now. He's trying to get away. They try to slow him up, but Champion Red has the opportunity. A mid goes in on the wrong target, but Champion Red is blown up and goes down, and it's just the split pushing Fiora. Joffrey cannot get into this fight. It's going to be a 4-0, and now it's time. What's AWE going to do next?
Yeah, Jaffe is doing the Jaffe here, trying to just find anything in the side lane as possible. Everyone goes down there, and they're letting the Fiora continue, apart from Trollsing. Great back there. Keep 4 mid. You might be able to find an inhibitor off this push, and then you have a little bit more control for Baron. That is the play that I'm looking for here from AWE. They could find the game.
I'm surprised that Trollsing is not sprinting right now, trying to find Jaffe. Jaffe is going to get the back off and is going to be in a 4v1 scenario. Not the best wave clear out of a Fiora, but looking to find a way around. Here comes that teleport. This could be it. This could be it, Adam. Jaffe has marked the grand challenge. Oh, Solo is a mid. A mid still alive, but a mid goes down, which means Jaffe is going to be able to sustain just enough to be able to survive. They're going to try to turn it around. The Drowsy is huge. Trollsing you is going to die. This, Adam, it's a replay of game 2. It's a replay of game 2. Music Boy's gone golden, and he's going to be eaten alive by multiple members of BBZ. He's going going to shift over the wall. He's going to be chased down. And now you see Fireman looking to close out on Oriri. And they do. But Music Boy somehow, some way still alive. But Dax is full HP. And Music Boy, I don't know if he's going to be able to find a way out. He's going to get Jarvan ulted and go down. And it is a carbon copy of Game 2, Adam.
Oh, man. No way that just happened there. Mid could have reset TP'd in and we would have been fine, but... Yeah, you know what? They get a minute of silence. I'm giving them a punishment. They're going into timeout.
Friend or foe esports' wild ride. Game 4, BBZ AWE. Dragging it in about 40 seconds here. Amid both summoners available. Middle inhibitor down, but that's it. That's all that AWE could get. Which means BBZ, it's totally fine. They will shove down the mid lane. They will have the opportunity to get to this dragon. And, you know, AWE, they have to secure this next one. Because I'm not sure if they can win without it.
I don't think we can survive without it. They've got to, like, just us as casters at this point. They've got to get this. They have to be able to secure it at this point. 5 seconds away, though. And this is the Zugzwang you're put into for either one of these teams. If you pick one and you pick wrong, you're in trouble. They're just already on this Baron. They are throwing down the gauntlet. Yeah,
they anticipated that AWE was going to be at the Dragon, but they are not. Teleport coming in, and that's going to allow Jaffe to continue to split push right here.
Oh,
All they have to do is back off. Champion Red, way up there. Very surprised on mid, trying to get into the mid lane. But right now, yeah, the split push, it's coming in huge. Jaffe up on the top side. He's going to pull Trollsing you all the way up there. Trollsing you, no teleport available. That turret is going to fall, and Jaffe is going to continue this torrid pace. The inhibitor is targeted next. He's trying to deal some damage. Jaffe sticking back. So close, will be able to take out this inhibitor as the Baron has been started. Jaffe is going to rotate all the way down for the bottom inhibitor.
Sleep.
The Drowsy is out. The sleep is there. The damage isn't enough on mid. Able to survive right now. Champion Red only has to deal with Crims on the backside. Crims looking to stun him up, and he does. But has the damage been done? Champion Red getting him very low. Jacob goes down. It's Dax, who's still full HP. Music Boy, very healthy also. We saw a teleport from Jaffe get canceled, and now the backs are starting. Can Jaffe win the 1v1? He outplays the Haymaker, and he wins the 1v1. But the recalls are coming through. Oriri, no Music Boy, has to shift away, so only two backs came through. Two backs came through. It was Crims. It's a mid, but they are going to take out the Ezreal critically, and Jaffe will be able to get away with the inhibitor down. BBZ is pulling AWE apart of the map, and Oriri may see their championship aspirations fall before them. Jaffe in a 2v1 right now on top of Crims. Look at the chunks that he's doing, but he's running low on mana, and he will get the job done. And now it's a one-on-one. Jaffe versus a mid. The turret gonna help out a mid just a little bit, but Jaffe still relatively healthy. He's gonna heal off the minions as the supers begin to pour into the base. The Baron for BBZ will be secured, Adam. 37.5 minutes in.
Just take the dragon, AWE. At some point, you just have to take it and say, if they get Baron and we get Soul, we're fine with that trade. Baron is temporary, Souls are forever. And instead, it's going to be a third dragon going over to the side of BBZ. They're going to get another dragon in their inventory.
Adam, I would like to point out that Amid is still on the under right now.
By one. I mean, I didn't even think he was going to get to this point.
Listen,
at a certain point, we were like, "Oh man, this line might have been for the wrong person," and very much could have been.
This means that it could be the perfect line, and you know that I've been pretty good at setting these lines. I've learned a lot in my 4 years working for a sports book.
Yeah, This series has delivered on so many levels.
This has been awesome. I did not expect. If you were to tell me that at 11:33 p.m. on the East Coast that I would still be casting, I'd be like, oh my god, we went to Game 5. But somehow, some way, we're still in Game 4.
Yeah. We could
have one more banger on our hands, Adam, but BBZ looking to go to sleep. Some of their members got work in the morning, and Fire Mana's damage is still really not there, but they do have the Zoni's Hourglass available. Now, remember, 3 dragons apiece, so the damage is going to start coming in hot and heavy, and Jaffe is all the way in, shoving these minions to the tower, and Oriri is going to get the big 4-man engage, but Champion Red is going to be able to slip out the back, and now it's time to go in. Amid is low, Amid is down, Amid is down, they've done it, they have done it! And now, trolling you down to about half HP, under the turn, Jaffe with the riposte, and it's over! BBC move on to the finals!
Red was untouched after the first second of that fight. Was just allowed to sit there and right-click for free that entire time. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Red once again stops Ariri in his tracks, and no championship for you. The final FOF season, the final chance for Ariri, his 5th shot at the crown, and it will be taken away by the hands of Champion Red. They don't call him champion for nothing.
And listen, Ariri did everything they possibly could to keep their hopes alive. A fantastic engagement in that last fight. It was literally all you ever wanted, and they were not able to get the job done. It was a huge knockup by Dax, and as I mentioned, Champion Red, nobody else was on him. He was able to slip out the back just barely with the Twitch stealth and open up on him and finish off this series. And what a fantastic match. And honestly, AWE, they only have themselves to blame. They threw 2 matches in this 4-game series.
It's such a rough way to go out as well. I mean, we look at the series as a whole. Game 1 seemed so firmly in AWE's hands, and BBZ turned it back around in the mid-game. Potentially expected, you know, the mid-game from BBZ has been their main strong point throughout this entire season. Game 2 comes around, and it's almost a throw as well from AWE. It goes back and forth, base race supreme at that point. They end up coming out on top. Game 3, never in the cards. This one, though, was right in the palm of their hands. We were looking forward to that Game 5. It felt like for an incredibly substantial part of this game. And instead, BBZ say no. We are the script writers this time around. 3-1 BBZ. They move on to the grand finals, and what a way, what a performance to do it in.
This may be the closest 4-game series I have ever cast. This was a really fantastic series to just sit down and enjoy League of Legends, because we saw some decent level play here, but then, man, these games, they were just, you know, knock them down, drag them out, slobber knockers, and ultimately coming out on top, BBZ, in a mid falling just short of the 9.5 there.
A damn good line from you, Yanni.
Always a damn good line from me.
Wow. What a series from these two teams. And I believe we will have... Do we have interviews today? Oh, we'll have to figure that out. We do
better have interviews today.
Yeah, we do have interviews today. So we will have interviews from BBZ, the winners of this one. That basically wraps it up for us, Yanni. Anything else you want to say before we send us off?
Yeah, no, I just want to see some interviews.
Curious to get into the minds of BBZ and how they feel. Of course, got to give our last shout outs to Logitech G, Adobe Creative Cloud, and Academy of Art University for helping us with our broadcasts. As always, after this break, you won't hear back from Yanni and I, unfortunately, but we will hear from BBZ. Looking in the interview room, it's Jaffe and Red who are going to be on the docket for that one. Very curious to hear their takes on things. Knocking out Ariri once again from playoffs. We'll be back after this break.
welcome back, friend or foe gamers, to another winners interview. And for some reason, they let me back on. I'm here to talk with two good friends of mine, Jaffe, who I've known, no one I have known longer on Discord than Jaffe, and then Red, of course. How do you guys feel about winning that series?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that series win.
So I guess I'll just get right into it. You know, this is a close series. You know, two rivals. You know, AWE and BBZ. I don't think Red has ever beaten a Riri team in the regular season, and of course you beat a Riri in finals last season, right, Red?
Yeah.
So, how do you guys feel? You know, going into it, and why do you guys think that you came out on top over AWE?
Do you want me to go first, Jeffy?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I always look forward to playing a Riri, because, you know, he's been such a mainstay in FOF since I've been in FOF, really. And so it's always good to play against him and a couple of the other veterans like INT and UB. So, I just enjoy playing in FOF, man.
Yeah, you know, you've been around forever, right? So.
I started as a sub for Atlas in season 2.
Tried to retire like 6 times though, you know.
Yeah.
The good old classic meme. What about you, Jaffe? Why do you guys think you came out on top over AWE this time?
I think we just played like mid and late game better most of the time. Like I feel like their early game is pretty good. Like they make plays, they get most of the objectives. And then when it comes to mid-late game, they kind of just fall apart, or we just play better.
Yeah, I would have to agree. So throughout the season and through this series especially, you guys seem to prioritize dragons a lot. You know, the classic, maybe that's because of the UB strategy with Red, but why do you guys place such a huge importance on dragons?
I mean, dragons kind of just fall into the playstyle that we typically play. We either will contest them with our lead, because usually in the series we had a lead bot. You know, I was able to start Cole, and aside from game 3 where Ezreal picked up some early kills, I was always ahead in bot lane for the rest of the games. So it was really easy for us to transition our lead to dragon, and then it also allows Jaffe to do his split shenanigans.
Yeah, you guys seem to have good dragon control. I think throughout you guys seem to play chokes pretty well. So fun fact for everyone that's watching, if they're still here, I originally downloaded Discord just to talk to Jaffe and friends. So I've known literally no one longer in FOF in all of Discord than Jaffe. So Jaffe, my question is, you've been to finals. I think it's your second time, right? How do you?
Isn't it your
yeah.
4th?
Is it your fourth? Holy crap.
I think it's like 3rd or 4th. I lost count. I don't know.
How do you feel about being in finals again?
It feels good. I feel like I don't know, the like playoffs and the series, like best of 5s. It's a lot of fun. I think it's more fun than best of 1s, like every Monday, Tuesday. But yeah, getting up here is really fun. I think I'm best playing best of 5s rather than like best of 1s.
Yeah, I think I can agree. Your split push has always been something that we, not only me, but all of your teams have utilized, right? You know, the Jaffe things, the classical doing Herald for no reason. It's been really nice to see you grow, man.
I haven't seen that Herald thing in a while.
Yeah, I would hope so. So, Brad, you've known Kai forever as well. I think even before FF was even originated.
Known him for about 10 years now.
10 years, so a decade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys have strong personalities. You know,
yeah.
How do you guys still manage to play together after all this time?
Yeah, a lot of the time it's just one or the other of us just like kind of just ignoring that. Like when one of us goes too far, we just kind of brain off, I think. And I think that goes for both of us. But at the end of the day, you know, I've known him for a long time. I work with him, you know, so we do have a pretty good synergy, and I think that, you know, when we're kind of in the groove, things go smoothly.
Yeah, Kai has always been a shot caller. Is there any thoughts for you and Jaffe specifically on how Kai is just so good at shot calling? Does he really keep the team together, or is it more like someone else's the reason behind that?
I mean, I think he's a phenomenal mid-game shot caller. I think probably better than anyone in FOF that I've played with. He knows exactly what to do on the map, and realistically, like, it just comes down to how on the same page the rest of the team is.
What about you, Jaffe? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. Cause the first time I was on a team with Dax, that was the first time I've ever like heard someone being a shot caller like with that information or like that much information that I didn't even know that like it can go that far, that detailed. So like playing with Dax, I've learned a lot about the whole playing S5. But yeah, I think he's really good.
You guys also have 2 new members, right? I don't think you guys have played with Firemana and Jacob Dudar before. How have you guys managed to integrate them within the team?
I mean, usually we just try to get Parker or Firemana on the best matchup we can get him on. He's a very good mid laner. And while in BBZ fashion, he does have a couple games where he kind of ints a little bit, just like the rest of us. He's been more than capable in, especially in the games that we needed him to be playing really well. And then, Jake, I said it in the pregame interview for FOF Connect, but I would not rather have any other support in the league. Just Jake. I love the guy. He plays exactly how I want him most of the time.
That's great to hear. I mean, these 2 are definitely been big parts of why you guys are here, right? So you guys are, in finals. We have another game Tuesday, but between OVS and UB, who do you guys think is going to take it, and who would you guys rather face in finals?
I don't know about Jaffe, but I would love to see you be there. I mean, I'd be happy to play against either team, of course, but I've been on UB, and this is kind of a throwback to Season 3 finals, where the first season BBZ, well, our version of BBZ and UB came into FOF. That was the finals matchup, so I'm really looking forward to that being the case, but I'd also really like to play OVS again.
Yeah, I think both teams are really good. So playing either or would be like a banger series. But I think I'd rather play against UB just because of the BBZ versus UB finals. And I've met a couple of them in real life, so it'll be fun to play against them.
Yeah, you guys have all met up before, right? The Seattle meetup.
Yeah, we've met up a few times.
Yep.
So, I've talked to Chris about this many times. In finals, are you pulling out the trap card? Is Koshi gonna come in and save the day?
Only if Jake isn't feeling good. Like, I love Koshi and I'd love to put him in, but Jake's put in a lot of work for us this season, so I can't just sub him out for no reason.
Awesome. The trap card stays in the cards, unfortunate Koshi.
Yeah, sorry, sun guy, I love you.
So I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Any closing remarks for AWE? Anybody else? Trash talk? Anything you guys got to say?
I don't really have much. I'm looking forward to the series on Tuesday. Thanks for playing, Riri, as always. It's always a lot of fun playing against you, and I love the trash talk. Also, I'm too lazy to go scroll up and find it, but there was one point where Crims had mentioned something like, oh yeah, AWE is a lot better because Red left. So, all I'm saying, man,
I get you, Jaffe. What about you?
I don't have much, but just GG's to Ori's team, and I think it's kind of cool how many players he brought into this community. So kudos to him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the revolving door of AWE is notorious.
So I'm pretty okay closing out here, guys. Shout out to Logitech G, Adobe Creative Cloud, Academy Art. I would like to give another, famous shout out to Riri, who's been around forever. Like Jaffe and Red just said, no one has really done a lot no one has done more for the community than Jacob has. Sad to see them go, gonna be honest, but thank you guys so much. We're gonna head out. We're gonna see you guys Tuesday. Monday we don't have a game, but Tuesday we'll see you guys against OVS and UB.
Liganda,